Hello, I'm Emma of Granola Gear, and I don't know about you, but all I can think about is fall and winter knits. I know it's July, I know I'm crazy, but all those knitters out there knitting all your summer knits on tiny, tiny 3mm needles, I know you're thinking it too. So I thought, why not just lean in? And I'm not saying that this is a planning video. These are big dreams. These dreams will not be accomplished, but I just want to dream about fall and winter knits. So will you join me on this adventure of everything I just can't stop thinking about for fall and winter? So there's like no particular organization to this. The first couple pieces that I've been dreaming about, I grouped in designer, but there's only a couple by the same designer. So we're all over the place today. And I will start with the ever classic petite knit. The first piece I'm thinking about is the Esther Jacket. I didn't knit it last year because I didn't want to be, I always try and wait a little bit with her. Like, I want to make sure it's not the hype and it's something I actually like, but I've been thinking a lot about it. And I have a Sunday cardigan that I kind of think I want to unravel and turn into an Esther Jacket. I just, it's not just the diamonds, it's like the density. Like, I like a cardigan that's a jacket. Like, the V-neck cardigans are fine, they're cute, but like I want a jacket. That's just my fave. I love when they come all the way to the top with a button, and I think the design is nice and subtle. It's not too crazy. The sweater I want to unravel is like a pretty monochromatic color. There isn't too much variegation, so I think it would work well with the texture, and I am a sucker for textured knits, and that's an Aran weight pattern. The other petite knit pattern I've been thinking about for such a long time, and I feel like is deeply underrated, is, I don't know how to say it. It's either the Sille slipover, which sounds ridiculous. It sounds like I'm saying silly, or the CA slipover, as though it's Spanish. I don't know what she's going for specifically. That's a worsted weight pattern. Something, once again, about the texture gets me with that one. I never thought I was a vest girly, a slipover girly, we'll say, but lately I'm feeling the vests, especially when I'm at home. I mean, it's summertime. I'm not feeling vests right now. But when it's cold out, when I'm at home and maybe it's not like a full sweater day, I'm wearing a cozy long sleeve, but I just want a little like woolly joy. Um, a slipover is the way to go, a vest. And like the little zigzags, I love it. I love it. It's like not too tight, it's not too loose, something about it. Beautiful. So the next designer, apologies, is Other Loops. She is one of my all-time faves. Something about how she designs, I guess it's just the texture. It's the texture, just gets me. And I have my eyes on really three sweaters, but we'll say two because the third one, I love the twist loop sweater. I love it. I love it. It's fingering weight, and I knit the tank top version, so I don't think it's going to happen. It's beautiful. I love it. I don't want to knit that big of a sweater in a fingering weight. It's never going to happen. But the Brady loop sweater is a DK, and I love the saddle shoulder on that. Oh my gosh, the cable along the back and down the arms, gorgeous. The wide, delicious rib. Oh, something about it texturally. It looks like a cozy crew neck sweatshirt, I think. Like, it doesn't look like a sweater. It does look like a sweater, but something about it is just different, and I adore it. I don't know what on earth I'd knit it in, but I love it, and I would love to have it. The other one is the waffle loop sweater. That's also a worsted weight pattern. Oh, the Brady loop is DK. The Brady loop sweater is DK. The waffle loop sweater is a worsted weight pattern. And once again, the texture. I love like an unconventional kind of cabled textured sweater because there's like a traditional style kind of template that people use, and it's beautiful, and you can mix it up and they all look a little bit different. They're gorgeous. But when someone does it a little bit different, ah, and this one I love. It's so much, it's so delicious. Just nothing better. So the last person that I have multiple patterns that I'm thinking about is Agio Knit. The first one is the, once again, not sure how to say this, Haraboy cardigan. It's a worsted weight pattern. Once again, beautiful, unconventional cable texture situation. Once again, very jackety. I love a good jackety sweater. This one, the little X's are beautiful all over, but I'm not really sure if it's even feasible for me in my lifetime because it feels like so much. But there's a possibility. These are dreams, people. The other one is kind of a two-parter, the Urus slipover and the Urus sweater, both air and weight. I think that the slipover is more realistic for me, but because I know it's all knit flat, it's kind of a crazy dream. But I feel like I might try the slipover. Once again, the texture, cannot get over it. All the honeycomb, it looks like inches. Like it looks like it must be inches thick, like multiple inches, because it's just so deliciously squishy. Who can resist? Who can resist? But yes, Urus slipover and sweater. I don't know what you could think of that would be better than that. Next, we have the Beatrix Cardigan by Gregoria Fibers, which is a worsted weight pattern. I own this pattern and I would love to knit it again, all over texture, gorgeous. Looks a little more realistic for me, I think. The previous cardigan that I talked about kind of felt like a lot, but this one I think is a little more down to earth. I think it's a little more possible for me. The all over texture in the lower, I'm not sure how much effort that would take. We'll see. We might find out. Might do a little swatchy swatch and see, but it's, once again, chef's kiss. I mean, nothing better. So the next pattern that I'm dreaming of is the Barb Blouse, which is a Knitting for Olive or Pernille Larsen pattern, and that one's in light fingering. I would previously not have included this, but I'm knitting the Barb top, and I have to say, it's not as intensive as it would seem. It is, but it is shockingly enjoyable to knit. I love the stitch pattern. It's very popcorny because you get those eyelet rows. You're like, ooh, I just want to get to the next one. Ooh, I just want to get to the next one. Like that kind of feeling. And so I've really, really been enjoying it. And I think that knitting the whole blouse is more realistic to me. And the neckline with the waves is amazing. So beautiful. Nothing better. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what situation I would wear it in, but I'm pretty sure I could figure it out. It's amazing. I don't know what color, but I'm pretty sure any color would be wonderful. So there's that. The next pattern that I just cannot get off my mind is the Pina Pullover by Tetty's Knit Garden, I believe, and that's a sport weight pattern. When it comes to color work, I am a sucker for a botanical pattern, and this is botanical. What I love about this, what I love is like the big leaf shapes. They're not petite, they're not small, it's bold, but it's not so bold. Like they're all really pretty, but there are some that are like huge floral. I'm like, I don't know if I want graphic, I just want bold. There's a difference. And this one hits right in between. Like you feel like you're a little fairy wearing something like that still. I don't want to feel like crazy. I want to feel like a little fairy still, but like bold, a bold fairy. And her samples are in neutral colors, so it's just, it's so subtle and earthy and wonderful, and I love it. The next pattern is a little crazy, but I've just been thinking about it. And that's Augustine's number 34 by Augustine's. It's a bulky weight pattern, and this one is a skirt. I see little short knit mini skirts all the time. They're very cute. But this, I don't know what it is, but I love it. I fear that I would have felt it sitting in it, so I'd have to pick something that wasn't super felty, but it just looks like the best time. I mean, once again, little fairy activities. Like, who doesn't want to be prancing around in a big skirt that they knit? I'm not sure how normal it would look on me, but I kind of feel like I just have to try. Like imagine that in like a pale pink with like a little, with the Barb blouse. I can't even, just the thought is more than I can really handle at this time. It's so much. It just feels beautiful and I love it. The next pattern is, we're toning it down a little bit, but still beautiful, is the Florist by Sari Nordland. I've been thinking about this one because I have a handful of fingering weight yarns that are superwash that I think would be really perfect for this. It's a very delicate pattern. It's a nice little cardigan you can throw on over things. This, I think, is going to be my cardigan winter. That's what I'm feeling. This is cardigan girl winter. I love a sweater. They're much easier to knit, like a pullover, because you're knitting in the round and all that. But I'm going to have to just buckle down, and this is going to be cardigan girl winter because I love wearing cardigans. I just need to knit more cardigans. And this one with the gorgeous lace details is up there. I mean, I think I could cast this on at any time. We could start at any time and I'd be happy. The next pattern is the Porcelain Yolk sweater by Lay Knit, and that's a fingering weight pattern, I believe. So the porcelain sweater, the drop shoulder version, is beautiful. Honestly, I think it's better looking than the Porcelain Yolk sweater, but I think for me, I think it's more realistic to go for the yoke version. Still gorgeous, but we're doing more of a circular yoke. So it should be an easier process. I think that for me is more attainable, especially with a fingering weight. I have not knit a fingering weight full sweater. I've done DK, I've done Aran worsted bulky. I've not done a fingering weight sweater. I've knit light fingering summer tops, so I'm a little scared of it. And that's why I think the yoke version is more attainable. But I might break down and knit the real one at some point. I mean, can you really blame me? It's a gorgeous design. Next, we have a pattern that I also already own, and that is the Autumn Alpine by Boylan Knitworks. That's a sport weight pattern. Like I said, botanical yoke just cannot pull me away. You cannot pull me away from those. I love the little, whatever the braid thing situation is going on the neckline. I think I need more slightly fitted sweaters. I think a lot of mine are oversized, which I do like, but you need some options. Like, we need to be able to switch it up if necessary, just so that it is possible to wear a knit sweater every single day of the fall and winter. So we need to have all varieties, all the options. All the options must be hand knits, obviously. And there are two left. The first one is the Marquetta Cardigan by the Westrand sisters. It's a worsted weight pattern. This one is a steeped cardigan. Now, I really would like to knit a steeped cardigan. I think it would be much easier than knitting a regular cardigan. I like the design on this. It's a little non-traditional. It looks like it would be a pretty easy color work pattern. Worsted, I have a lot of worsted weight in yarn, so that's kind of where my thought process was going. Yeah, I think this would be a great option for me. And I've been thinking about this one since last winter. I just had other stuff on my plate. So this one's up there. And last but definitely not least, and I don't necessarily mean this specific pattern, is the 5010 Telemark Cardigan by Senisgarn. I don't know if it's going to be this one specifically. This one is a sport weight, by the way, because I think it's one of the ones where you have to buy the yarn to get the pattern from them. And that's a lot of money. But I would really love to knit a steeped all over color work, like traditional Norwegian sweater cardigan this winter. That's my dream. I'm a quarter Norwegian, so really this is just my culture. So that's what I tell myself. I can knit as many sweaters as I want because I'm connecting with my heritage. So that is what I've been dreaming about. As a side note, I'm wearing the Colette tee by Sari Nordland, just in case you're wondering. I hope you join me on this journey. When we get a little closer and it's not July, or this video may come up. No, it'll be the end of July when I put this video out. When it comes to fall, I hope you join me for any planning videos and my podcast where I chat about what I have been working on. Been a mad woman with finished objects lately, but I hope you have a wonderful day and happy knitting.